Hello, future subscribers. Today we are going to talk about relative morality and moral grayness. My name is Brendan. You can find me at Maxwell A. Snow on Twitter. Simon's here. What's your name?
Well, I'm Luke.
Oh my God! When did you get here?
Oh!
That's right. The third member of the cast is
Yes,
here. The third member, the one that we mentioned who couldn't come the first time, but now he is here.
We had him reanimated by Herbert West. It's okay.
Yep, he's ready for Freddy now.
Yep. Those things almost killed me. Anyway. No Twitter. I don't give my Twitter out. I even don't have one, so.
Follow him eerily down the street.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
I'll
Follow him.
always be with us. I'll always be with Leon. I'll always be walking with Leon.
Yep. You can follow him in spirit.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
Yeah.
So yeah, we're talking about moral
You're really good about it too.
Yo, Liam, you didn't even introduce yourself.
People know who I am.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm Liam, and fuck introducing myself all the time. That's BS. You all know who I am. You're true subscribers. You looked through all the videos.
Then again, there's those people that are just like showing up and like, oh hey,
Hi, Ma.
who are these people? Subscribers.
Statistically likely, but regardless, we're going to completely ignore that group of people.
Ooh.
So today we're talking about moral relativism, as it's otherwise known. Why is it okay to kill people who have different religions than us? Yay!
Whoa.
They're not Catholics, so they can die. Says one of the more avowed non-Catholics of the group. Yes. Sorry, that was not an offense. That was not meant as offense against the Catholic language. Catholic language. What the fuck? Catholic people. Catholic language would be Latin. Regardless, not against any Catholic people, but simply I needed a popular religion to use so that people would get the reference.
So for those of you who are too young to know what moral relativism, it's basically when moral isn't black and white, when there isn't a good and bad thing to do.
Get back in school.
Yeah, basically what I'm saying, go to school, kids. Don't do drugs. Unless you're doing drugs, and then I can't tell you.
Unless they're free. Remember, unless they're free.
They're expensive, so when a guy gives you drugs, do them.
You're sending out bad messages. Why?
I send out bad messages. I dropped an N-bomb in a video.
Yeah, but that was quite muted.
That's true. That was muted and in character.
Yes, it was quite all right. Anyways, back onto the actual topic.
For a good thing, like one of the biggest examples of moral relativism is like the NSA. They're not bad, but they're not good. They're in that gray zone. Sure, they could be protecting us, but they could also be hurting us at the same time.
Remember to tell people who the NSA are.
Ooh, national security is
their big brother.
Oh yeah, basically.
Basically.
Yeah, the big brother of the United States.
Does Canada have a version of that?
We probably do. Our intelligence agency was CSIS. Now it kind of is. It's complicated, but they're not necessarily the same thing.
No, they're not. It's weird because yes, at the same time they're protecting us, but at the other time they are actually they really are spying on us. They know a lot about us.
I will of course state that the NSA has no vested interest in Canadian citizens, and therefore we are not protected at all. First we were saying you to represent the United States. Now we're saying we. What the hell?
Well, because it's just a global thing that we're probably all being watched.
But they're a national security.
But the funny thing is, I think most of the subscribers or viewers will probably be American. Just saying.
Well, unless some of my Twitter followers are following, which they are.
Statistically speaking, thank God.
So all ye bold Canadians who are listening, hats off to you. We've already stated that Sweden.
Then take your hat off.
If you're Swedish, yeah. If you're Swedish, you're a genius. Anyways, moving on to the actual moral relativism thing. NSA, the big debate about that really is whether the NSA is protecting Americans or whether it is spying on them for sinister purposes. And we can't really make that out because they're a secretive agency by their very nature.
It's it's interesting because while they could be spying on us, they could be still at the same time finding that this person spot a whole bunch of fertilizer in a pressure cooker. And they could
And
stop
that's
them.
not the right way to grow plants.
No. That's how you cook a plant and grow them.
God damn, not Brendan facts.
Do. Facts with Brendan. He's in love. Chateau. Do.
No. That was plugging Brendan's new ABC series. I don't
Brendan
know.
in La Chateau. Because none of you know this, I'm related to the first king of France. Through it's a wacky story.
We mentioned that already. Anyways, why do we do these? Yeah. Okay. See ya.
See ya, Luke. Yeah.
Showing us. Okay. So yeah, the NSA, as we are all aware, are like this supposed Big Brotherish group. I really wanted to save them for this kind of episode. I wanted that there's fighting back there. There were fists moving around rather silently, so you couldn't actually hear them. Okay, it's gotten violent. People are dying back there. Oh, no!
We derailed the video once again!
I didn't derail shit.
You derailed everything.
Welcome back, everyone.
If you don't know, we're the masters of tangents.
So yeah, can we just get on the topic? Yeah. The NSA. Now that's an interesting case, but that's whether the NSA is working in the public interest or not. I'd have to say that it's a thin line. I think they are, but they aren't doing any good. They might be doing more harm than good, because we're on a very Orwellian path there with people just like spying on us. But I think that they are doing it for the public good. They're a government agency. In general, I think members of the government are trying to help at least a small portion of the population.
Great. Now you see what you did. Now every time we go over to the stage, we're gonna be on every watch list.
You know what?
I just complimented them.
Let's even put us further on the watch list. It's kind of like Hitler. He was doing something great for the German people. He was trying to help them. He was actually... Yeah, I know. I just pulled this card. Ooh, this is a fun topic. Like Hitler actually was pulling them out. Actually, he pulled the whole world out of a depression.
There goes the channel.
Ooh, yeah, I know. I'm a Hitler supporter. What about it? When I say I mean...
The cops are coming to your house already. We haven't even uploaded this shit, and they're coming. They're going to arrest you. I know. You fucker.
You know I was going to do this for Debate Club. That was one of my topics.
No, well, that's beautiful. I'm sure they would have loved that.
You did it too, Liam.
Yeah, but I was debating whether he was a good leader or not whether, he was a meritorious leader.
What I'm saying is he's not a bad person. He was doing something that he thought and the Germans thought were right.
And that was killing millions of people.
And who knows? Maybe if they had won the war, we would worship him as a hero.
See, I've never understood...
Probably, but fuck him anyways.
I've never understood that, debate topic, really. The fact that it was he was doing... there's that whole... I mean, it ties back from the relative morality. The fact that that debate topic, that Hitler was doing good, in which it was bad at the same time. No.
Well, it wasn't even that he's doing good. It was, for my debate topic, it was whether he was a good leader or not. And certainly he was, until, the war went to shit because he was a terrible strategist.
And then he pussied out and died.
Yep. And that's the story of Adolf Hitler.
The thing is that, yeah, he did pull the whole world out of depression. That's the only time in history, World War II, that we've had a no unemployment rate. Everyone was employed. Because a soldier's a professional job. Everyone had a job.
Well, the fact that you had to supply things, too.
Yeah, everyone was...
History lessons.
Yeah. And it's interesting because there's still a whole lot worse people. Even Joseph Stalin was worse.
Yeah, but, when you're comparing deaths in the millions, saying something's worse...
It gets very moral. And
it's like saying that a specific typhoon was worse than a specific earthquake.
Yeah.
I think typhoons are worth it because, come on, it's we're talking millions of deaths there now. War is always good for economies, unless you're on the losing side. But generally during wartime, you have a pretty strong economy. Regardless, moral relativism. Like there are neo-Nazis out there who think Hitler did the right thing, and those people suck. But if you think about it from their perspective,
I hope one of your neighbors isn't a neo-Nazi.
I don't think one of my neighbors would be a neo-Nazi. One of them's old, and one of them is, and one I don't even know the other one, but I know one of them's very old.
Yeah, they're a classic Nazi. They're like
No, he's not even German. I think he's
that doesn't mean
English.
anything.
Ingsoc. That's communism. It's still Ingsoc.
It still doesn't mean anything if he's German or not.
Yeah, no, but still,
Anyway.
obviously, we're accusing an old man of being a Nazi with no knowledge of what he's like.
God,
Good work. He's a kind
horrible
old man who's like.
And there's morality for you. We're on the dark side of the morality scale right now.
Oh yeah, so basically, when we're talking about moral relativism, it's always there's another side to the story. Even with Nazis, you've got the neo-Nazis, and they're by most people's account, they're fucking evil. But by their own account, they aren't.
Yeah.
Let's go to grade 11 English to explain it. What was that story that you read that basically it's the writer and he plans to kill his wife, but the wife kills him instead and uses his plan.
Yeah, I know that one that begins in Medias Res.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Well,
Yeah.
I remember reading it. I just don't remember what it was.
I can't remember what it's called. But basically, this husband plans out exactly how he's going to kill his wife, hide the body, and get away with the murder. But while he does this, the wife figures it out, and the wife, when he's taking part of his plan, his wife kills him. And the question is, does his plan, the question is it moral to do that? Was that a moral choice? Was that a good idea? And honestly, in my opinion, no. It's not any more moral than him killing the wife. It's because, although yes, it was self-defense. The guy's gun was, you unloaded your husband's gun. He was defenseless. You could have just left
By the
him.
way, there is no, that morality is all over. It's still too extreme. It's still on the one extreme, basically. Well, the wife was on. Well, I don't know. They were both on.
Extremes.
They weren't really in the gray area. They were at one extreme, then they jumped right to the other. It was just a flip scenario.
While
really.
still being somewhat morally gray, because some people are like, yeah, you go girl, you got him, you're good.
Yeah, but
and then there's people who are like,
you murderous bitch.
Yeah, I get that. So yeah, that's moral relativism because both those people have different opinions on what's happened. Is it okay to revenge kill someone?
No, it's unpopular opinions. Yay!
Revenge kill somebody.
Like they try to kill you, but you kill them.
Okay.
But it's like premeditated, like V for Vendetta style.
Mm.
Like you come back, they made your life hell, and you go and you kill them, even though they pose no more threat to you anymore.
There's also on a less depressing, deep version of this, I'm gonna bring up the story of what a couple people that I was talking to last night. They were talking about basically. I mean, it's I guess on the line of morality, in one sense, the fact of your behavior towards a set of people and your behavior towards another set. I guess could you qualify that on the same line? Yeah.
I like if you're talking if they're talking
being a jerk and then being an asshole and being completely
being
nice.
a pure asshole, being a pure jerk, which is better?
So basically, it's the choice between being Homer or Ned Flanders.
Oh my God! Why are we bringing pop culture into this?
Because I like to bug Liam with it.
Homer's a stupid mean guy, and Ned's an overly righteous good guy. So.
Yeah. The topic that did arise really was you either be an asshole entirely or be the one person. He was trying to change his outlook on everything and trying to change his attitude and such. So he wanted to be
good,
nice to everybody. Yeah. But this other person came back. There's a whole debate about it. The other person came back to him about it, saying, "Well, no, you should really just be an asshole all the time to the people that you don't care about, because you can just tell them to screw off and such, right?" Meanwhile, if you're nice, you won't really do that to anybody. But the thing is, those are, like I was saying to them, there were two extreme cases there. You can't. I mean, you should be happy with just trying to find that gray area, because I mean, sure, you can be nice to certain people. Be nice to certain people. Be nice to people, but know when to tell them to screw off or something. Like, know when to tell them, okay, you're bugging me, go away, kind of thing. Like, be mean to them, or like say no once in a while. Because if you are, as the one extreme says, being all nice, people will just walk all over you like a doormat.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the other one, nobody will want to talk to you at all.
You have to find that.
Like, you gotta find that midpoint.
Yeah. Most people are at that midpoint.
Where it's, if people try to walk all over you, you basically shut them down before it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they're trying to avoid you, you try to be nice and try to bring it back. Difficult to do, but I mean, it's possible.
Yo, cat, someone's allergic. You want to move away from that edge where he's sitting? No? No? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
and there's the asshole thing right there.
Yeah, well, I understand that kind of argument to a degree, but like if you're a complete asshole, you get put down by the world, basically.
Exactly.
No one's going to
want to communicate with you. Or...
Yeah, you're going to piss off the wrong people. If you're too good, sure, a lot of times you'll get
Actually, people, to me, when people are like the perfect person, they're always being nice. It actually gets on my nerves because. No, you can't be perfectly moral. That's a horrible thing to do. You always have to have something.
There's that gray area where you can't always be good, but you can't always be bad.
Yeah, and there is no perfect.
You gotta go, sorry.
There's no perfectly moral person, I'm thinking, and they can get walked over by other people because they're too nice. But that's still not as bad a position as you'll be in if you were always a dick. Because if you're always a dick, you don't get anywhere. If you're a dick, you have to at least pretend for a while that you're a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then switch sides.
Yeah. There's also that thing where it's like, you can't always be good. You have to do... I mean, some things, too, they may seem morally wrong at first. But, I mean, there's a lot of things in life, too, where you can come across, like, something that's morally wrong in the beginning, but is good at the, in the long run.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking at me for, Liam? Are you reading my thoughts about the fact you haven't made tea yet, and I thought there was going to be tea?
Yeah, you can shut your mouth. You're the one who said to start recording, damn it.
I did say to start recording, and then I was like, oh my gosh, Liam, don't shine that in my eyes. No.
Anyway, and there's another.
This is negative reinforcement. This is negative reinforcement. Quiet down.
I don't want them. Anyway.
Quiet down.
No one loves me here.
So there's things that are morally wrong in the beginning. I mean, I've never come in contact with them, and I hope to God I never have to actually do that, because I mean, that tears you apart really, because you have to weigh in every option. If you don't mind me using something like using a pop culture reference here.
Ooh, are you talking about Fallout?
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
I mean, I know this is a serious topic, but this is the only way I can explain it.
Yeah, this is a very severe one. Even in a game, it was a hard choice.
The Pit. Right?
Yeah, The Pit. That DLC, where you have the choice with the
baby. Delicious baby flesh. Oh.
We are talking about the correct choice.
You're not the cannibal.
Yes. The cannibal is the correct choice.
The relative morality, the moral relativism, or whatever you want to call it. This is the only way I can really think of it at the moment. The fact that there is two options, and I swear to God, if you bring in that third option.
You can eat the baby. You can eat the baby.
There's technically two options if you don't have that.
Savory baby.
Anyway, there's also...
Oh God, I'm sorry.
There's...
Liam eats babies.
I said that so many times last year.
Someone get Liam a baby. Me. We'll take a picture of him eating the baby.
No, we won't, because this will turn out like the Bush picture eating the kitten.
What?
Okay, so yes, there's the two options in the pit.
well, not eating it. Anyway, so the two choices are either you take you steal the baby, and then let the slaves. Even though in the end that's still bad, like when you think of it, because it turns out bad.
Let the slaves eat the baby.
No. Shut up about eating the baby.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You can let the slaves go free.
I'm a freaking cannibal.
Or you could get a what was it?
Or you can get something from the guy.
And yeah, but there was even greater moral choice because in the long run you get a cure from the baby.
I of course sided with Asher. He's the one with the technology, even though he has slaves.
And then on the other side,
I took the man for his word.
You can save the.
I didn't take Asher actually. I took the other one because it was. The thing is,
You
that was
German.
such a. What?
You took German.
You can leave.
Werner.
Yeah.
You can leave the baby, which in
does
the
nothing.
end you get a cure. I can't remember what the cure was for. Or you could take the baby and
leave the oppression behind.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was one of the hardest choices. That's one of the hardest choices that I ever had to make on that morality scale.
Well, both Werner.
I hope I never have a real life situation that has to have like two extremes with no gray area in between.
Like both Werner and Asher, though, in the end are going to find a cure, I guess. But I felt Asher had the better technology there, and it was like, yeah, do you like prop up this asshole who's using slavery to get his way so that you can have a better chance at the greater good, or are we not sure that Werner's going to be just as terrible if he's maybe a manipulative dickbag?
And that's why they added the cannibal perks option of eating the baby.
Okay, it solves both problems.
Can we stop about eating the baby? I will blind both of you.
I'll be honest, it is the easy option.
It's the answer to the problem. It's the answer to the problem.
It's the only answer that works.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Eat the baby.
Honestly,
eat the baby. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Oh, we're just gonna eat the baby. Eat the baby. Eat the baby.
Okay, anyway.
Eat the
Does
baby.
the
Eat the
queen
baby.
eat
Eat the baby. Eat the
Back
baby.
on
Eat the
topic.
baby. Okay.
The queen eats babies. None of you can see what I'm doing, but I'm holding it like I have a baby in my hands really badly with my mouth open.
Don't insult Elizabeth.
This is where the podcast gets derailed.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, I believe that was a really good. It's not like many of the decisions in the fall. We're gonna start talking about the Fallout series now.
Nope.
But
back to real life examples.
Yeah. Okay.
You want real life
examples? You want real life examples? We talk about what's going on in the Middle East right now.
No. How about we talk about frickin' what's his face?
Putin?
No.
No.
The doctor.
No, not Buffoon. Buffoon's a Canadian hero.
No, he's talking about like Norman Bethune. Of course, he's a Chinese hero too.
No,
I know you're talking about what's his name? Something beginning with an S. Singer?
No.
Can you summarize what he did?
Basically, I mean, it was morally wrong, but people wanted it to happen.
Kevorkian.
Yeah, Kevorkian. Yeah.
Okay, that's the best. That's one of the best examples. Okay, Jack Kevorkian was this doctor who people under his care wanted, supposedly at least, wanted help ending their lives because they had things like terminal illnesses or they were in intense pain.
Okay, I can get behind that.
And Kevorkian did that because he didn't want people to suffer the pain. He assisted in their suicide.
Mm-hmm.
However, that is illegal under United States law, and he was sent
to death over it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was sent to court. But who was it? The guy Jeffrey Feiger, I think, or whatever was his name, the lawyer.
Feiger Law. Oh my God. Anyway.
From Feiger Law. Yeah. Anyways, so Kevorkian it's against U.S. morals and against U.S. law, and it's against most Canadian law at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To assist people in suicide. And I personally, coming from my opinions, I think that's BS if someone has a terminal illness, especially something like ALS.
Because that's brutal.
I believe in the right to die in that case.
Right for your own way out.
What is the survival chance for dysentery?
I don't know.
Ask Harrison Ford.
But that's the thing. Dysentery, they wouldn't allow that, probably, because it's not a necessarily terminal disease.
Yeah. It's still a horrible, horrible thing to die from, though.
Yeah.
I know. A lot of people, like, what? It's illegal to pull the plug on people, right? Like, people can't...
Yeah, no,
No, you have to get people. You have to get the people under their care to sign it, don't you? To pull the plug on them now.
I guess so. Yeah, but still, that makes sense. You want the consent of the individual, and I suppose the consent of the family. But like the family is should be backing the individual on that.
If the individual's a potato, which is my way of saying a vegetable,
that's even worse.
Okay, if the person is in a
physically disabled
vegetative state, or no, if he's in a vegetative state.
He's a vegetable. He's a vegetative state.
You're
like how do you get his consent, Liam? How do you get his consent?
You do not get his consent.
Exactly, Liam. I want to point out your errors.
That's not an error, Brendan, and I will explain to you why that is not an error.
People who are like that, though, can still have the...
I will explain to you why...
Still have speech.
No. He's referring to a vegetative state as in, like, in a coma, right?
Yes.
You are entirely off base with trying to correct me there, because when people are in a vegetative state in a coma for a long enough time, it is up to the family as to whether to pull the plug. Yes, that has always been the case.
You're saying to sign the consent.
We're saying about terminal illness. Somebody's undergoing, like, somebody has...
That wasn't an entire, like, that was a misinterpretation of what I was saying.
Yes, I do like
and I do not agree with your tactics, you gerrymandering bastard.
Airplane food. What's up with that?
Back to Kevorkian, right?
No, not that Jerry.
Not the Jerry Seinfeld.
Anyway, where were we? About the...
Oh, yes. Dr. Kevorkian. So, yeah, he was tried with this, and a lot of people disagree with it, but a lot of people agreed with him being tried. And, I guess it's similar to the issue with abortion. That's a totally different debate there.
Let's not go into that because we'll get ripped a new asshole for that.
No, yeah. So with Kevorkian, it was just he did doctor-assisted suicide before it was legal.
It's legal
and
now?
It's not. No, it's not legal. It's still not legal in any of the U.S. states. It is legal in British Columbia now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, but it's like too little, too late for the people that proposed it. They had to go to Europe.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's one of those things which I think we should have, because suicide, people are like, suicide's an easy thing to do, it's the easy way out. No, it's the hardest thing you could possibly do.
You're fighting against the instinct to live that is present in basically all humans.
You're not selfish for that. You're thinking, oh my, I'm better off. People will be... You know that people will be sad.
Let's just not delve too much into the suicide aspect.
I know what you're referring to is, well, because there's different types of suicide. In that case, that would be altruistic suicide. That's the belief that everyone will be better off without you. And, I can understand, but then there's, like, really what the person is doing is they know they're going to die. They don't want to prolong the suffering. They want to get it done, especially if you've got ALS. Oh. You want to get it done before you've been horribly disabled.
Mm-hmm. And like, all of us probably have a way they would prefer to die. Like, prefer to die, like, from hypothermia or something, because that's, like, a very peaceful death.
Is it?
Yes. Because you're just falling asleep, and that's it. You're like, okay.
And not all of us are... Not everyone is Stephen Hawking, who can go on like this amazing individual with such terrible disease, and most people don't live as long as him. That was a special case.
So that's what he had. It was ALS. I didn't know.
He's still alive, yeah. Stephen Hawking. He has ALS, and
no, because it sounded like you saying he was dead.
No. I didn't know what he had. I remembered reading about it.
His ability to go on is like extremely cool. But again, it's a rare case that someone even lives that long with it. And it's horribly debilitating. And from a guy like him, which is really awesome, the mind was enough. But for a lot of people, it isn't. But then, again, this is the topic we're going on to. Is it better to prolong the suffering of someone? And what a lot of people are saying is that they're not arguing with the right for these people to choose when they die, though some people very much do because suicide is a sin. But there's a lot of people say...
If you're seeing this from a religious standpoint, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and a lot of people argue, but what if, like, they make a mistake? What if the doctors just start killing people? And I don't think that can happen, but I think a lot...
consent.
I think a lot of people that make that case are just trying to get the non-religiously tied down people on their side. With that, because I think he's largely religious. Like, yeah, and I understand your religious belief if it's a sin to kill yourself.
Yes, then you just don't sign up for it because it is a consent thing. It's
Yeah.
up to you.
You let I think that affects you. That affects you personally. So if someone else is going to do it, I don't care how much you want to save their souls from the fires of hell, but they're going to do it.
Definitely.
So yeah.
By the way, I don't think many of us here are very religious, which is big factor in this.
Yeah, I suppose it definitely is. And that's another thing. Religion is a huge impact on your morality.
That's a fun thing to talk about with morality.
Because there are so many different factors that affect your morality.
It is the opium of the people. It's sure, it's what distracts us from everything, and it's a good distractor. And is that good?
was actually the cause of
Karl Marx quotes. Karl Marx.
That was
opium of the masses.
Like,
opium of the proletariat.
This kind of makes full circle with the Adolf Hitler thing, actually, because that's what it was. It was mainly the religion behind the Jews, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of the Jewish was like the Jews are a different religion because Hitler was against everyone of a different religion except, and this is where he is hypocritical. He allied with the Shinto Japanese government. The Japanese government was Shinto. But he let that slide.
Wasn't the reason he was against Jewish because he thought that's why Germany lost World War I?
He blamed the Jews for World War I, but it's larger than that. It's anti-Semitism. As fine, like the Nazis hated every other ethnic group, and I'm sure they would have turned on the Japanese eventually.
Some of the Nazis
as well.
They just
look at that.
They were forced into.
Oh, like the Finnish Nazis specifically were largely forced into the SS. They didn't have a choice.
Like just think about it. They were allies with Russia, and then they turned on.
Oh yeah,
Russia.
they were allies with Russia, but they hated Slavs. They massacred Slavic people for no damn reason. And they said they basically it was because they hated Slavic people, but they had no trouble allying with them. But again, that's the hypocrisy of the Nazis we're talking about. But yeah, you got to think of religion, and religion's a huge impact on moralistic thinking because it's what people live by. Even more so than nationality, religion affects your views on things. Like especially being Canadian, it teaches you acceptance and things like that, which other countries would find reprehensible. There's a lot of other countries in the world now who don't want foreigners coming in because it corrupts their culture, and that's their belief. But then even more so, religion is what's going to drive it. And Canada is largely driven by Christian, largely Catholic and Protestant values.
I just want to go back to the multiculturalism. Just think back to my really bad analogy where Liam said, what about whole grain crackers? Canada's a whole grain cracker, while America tends to be more of the Ritz, where it's all one kind of cracker. One kind of color.
One kind of cracker. Yeah.
God.
Mother.
Way to lighten the mood.
White ass cracker. Yes, we're are you saying we have white diversity?
Yeah, no, we have a lot of diversity. Just look at Toronto. Whites became I think whites are a minority now.
Well, whites are minority in Canada, I think, in general.
Oh, I don't think that we're a minority. Our largest ethnic group is English
it's America
Canadians.
that's a minority.
No. Still.
Toronto.
Parts of Toronto, definitely. Parts of, if we separate Toronto into parts, definitely, white people are in minorities there. And, but in Canada, generally, the majority of the population, 75%, is white. And the majority of them are, the largest group of them are English Canadians, followed by, Scottish, then Irish, all the way down there. But anyways, that's, again, so we're going back to this belief that religion affects your morality. And Canada is interesting because it's based off of Christian doctrine when it was found. No! Why?
Why Chicago?
Christian doctrine, Chicago meltdown.
Chicago's going down.
Oh,
Chicago.
God.
No, not Chicago. Where are we across the lake from?
I think we're good.
Pond from.
Well, we're across from Lake Michigan.
No.
I think we're across from Ohio, aren't we?
Oh, the Ohio power plants.
Right, we were talking about Ohio. It was Ohio power plant. Dear God. Anyways.
We know our geography.
Canada, anyways.
It is Ohio, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we're across from?
Yeah, they have a nuclear power plant.
Yeah, so, anyways, Canada is very much based on these old Christian values of, they weren't always Christian values, mind you, but at the time they were, it came to be that the acceptance, and Canada wasn't always like that, because we had old Christian values as well, which could be bad at times, and old European values even more so. This, belief that we shouldn't include the race imperators. But nowadays, since Christian values largely line up with Canadian values, we both want acceptance and things like that. The nationality matches up with the religion in that case. So, yeah, religion is like integrally linked to morality, largely. But I think most people, it's interesting. Would you say being Canadian or being like religious would be more important to you?
Seeing as I'm, I'd say it's more so being Canadian.
Being Canadian, because when you're Canadian, you're exposed to all these people and all these different religions, and you get to know them.
You get different views. Actually, go ahead.
But in other places, yeah, it's definitely linked more to to the religion.
Mm-hmm. Like back in the old time when the Protestants teamed up with the against the Catholics and fought each other.
It was kind of what I was going to say, actually. If you think back to then, like with the Knights Templar and everything, they killed for Christianity?
Yeah, Catholicism specifically.
Catholicism, yeah. They killed for that. Like, they hadn't... And their moral standing was obviously all over the place, right? They're doing it for the good of their God, but they're also doing it... But they're at the same time, they're killing innocent people.
Yeah.
That's the same with the Salem witch trials.
Yeah, this stuff was so interesting, especially I love talking about the Crusades, because sometimes the Crusaders were the defenders, sometimes they were the attackers. Like, generally, they started the Crusades, and there were good Crusaders and there were bad Crusaders. And you were doing it for God, which, as opposed to these people you were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which were just Arabs, but, the Arabs were actually highly educated and well-spoken people, so that was a pretty interesting thing. And then you were going to mention the Salem witch trials, right?
Because they burnt, like, anybody that was accused of doing something wrong or something, like, supernatural that wasn't of their belief, like, because it was Catholicism again with that.
Oh, no, with them it was Puritans.
Not even that.
Okay, I'm sounding stupid on this podcast. Anyway.
Good work. You sound worse than me for once.
That's very hard. That's not very hard to do.
The Puritans, they didn't have Christmas.
But
actually, it wasn't even that. There was this weird thing where they would be like, "You're a witch because I don't like you. You're going to be a witch, so we can get you taken down."
Well, that's basically what it was, though. At the same time.
But then, as to why the town persecuted them, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like you were protecting the town, and you had to weigh your own suspicion of these people and like
against the town,
basically, like the safety of the town. Because these people, a lot of us can't understand this, but these were superstitious people. They oftentimes believed that witches existed. They were willing to believe whoever they thought was a good Christian on their word that someone was a witch. Maybe they should have trusted the supposed witch a bit more, but they were weighing the safety of the town versus the act of killing someone, and basically they felt that the possibility that that person was a witch was so dangerous that they would kill them so as to keep the town safe.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, it's like, they actually had their own thing where it was basically, if you die, you die innocent. Which is another, like, morality scale. That's holy shit, what the hell.
By association, too.
Yeah, and then if you survive, you're a witch. But every time they did it, they would kill somebody. I'm pretty sure half of them knew that they were just going to die anyway.
Well, yeah, but we also need to remember
like hung them,
this is relativism as
well.
Them,
like everything.
I know we find this reprehensible, but back then it would have been a bit less. And another thing that's a bit relative is the people back then were significantly less scared of dying than I guess we are. Well, like these Puritans were, because the Puritans were very much into the mindset that if they're innocent, God will forgive them. Forgive them. They'll go to heaven. So if they're murdered, at least they've got God to go to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, though. What happens if...
That's one point in the religion ball.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you die, you're forgiven. It's kind of a stupid concept at that point, because you have this whole... Basically, at that time, the whole town had blood on their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stupid because, right, God can perform miracles. God can keep people alive in situations where they would have died. So by that person surviving, meaning they're a witch, that means nothing because God could have saved them. Then you're acting against God's will by murdering those people. And again, this is just our our moral perspective talking. We find this like incredibly stupid and reprehensible.
Well, like,
but back in the day, again, they
This
felt.
was the proper thing.
I mean, there's also there's so many things that can relate to morality and such. Like, I mean, you guys read the story of the lottery, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good story.
Or is it with the lottery ticket, one with the black dot?
That's the lottery.
The lottery, yeah.
The ticket's
Basically-
the other one.
Basically, to save
The one with the
town.
Russian family that hates each other.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Basically, the thing is, that's another actually kind of a. No, it's not a good one for this.
No.
But the lottery is the fact that they would do the draw every year, and the person that got the black spot would be killed to save the town, basically.
Mhm.
All sacrificial
To give it to the gods of the harvest.
for sacrifice. Like, I mean, you're killing people in hopes that. I mean, this is what a fiction. This is a fictional story.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is completely
Yeah.
fictional. Don't.
Well, no, because I mean, back then people were stupid enough to do it.
I guess so.
The Mayans.
Well, people still are. Let's sacrifice our friend to Slender Man.
Oh my
Right.
god.
Oh.
That
You know they're being charged as adults, right?
they
Oh,
should
that's
be.
good. That's good.
They were old enough to know what the fuck they were doing.
How
Anyways,
old were they?
13, I think.
13?
I thought they were 10. They were 10 when they did it.
Yeah,
Oh.
they were 10. Holy cow.
Yeah, maybe
This was
yeah.
like a few years ago that they did
Right,
that.
right. So
They were
okay,
like
yeah.
10 when they did it.
Right, sorry, 10. Oh, that's right. They were 10. Yeah, because they were talking about are we going to charge them as adults or not? But yeah, still
And
by
the response is that a lot of people said was adult crime, adult time.
yeah, a lot of people do believe that, and it's like why not? Because
And it's like the most stupid reason to commit a murder. So
they're
I'm like,
obviously
I'm all for it.
they're obviously like mentally. I heard that they had mental problems, like the
Well,
two of
of
them.
course
But
they-
why were these mental problems undiagnosed? Different topic for a different day.
Yeah. And I'm not going to finish with the lottery because that's all basically it was. You killed to save the town.
Mhm.
In one way, it's good. You're on the good side of the morality scale because you're saving the town. And the other way, you're on the other extreme. You just murdered somebody in cold blood, basically.
Yeah, so this gives us the question, like, we find this reprehensible, right? Most of us do, at least. I'm sure there are some people out there who say, yeah, that's for the greater good. It's fine to do that. But,
So with the death penalty. But anyway,
for us-
continue with that after.
for us, though we're angry, though we'd be angry about that, we'd find that to be wrong. Wouldn't we do it if we were in the same situation? Like,
Possibly,
we
but-
would
If we believed in that, yes, of course.
Possibly,
Yeah.
yeah, but the thing is, you can't put yourself in that
even
mindset, though,
even if we
nowadays.
did, but even if we didn't, if we were in a situation where we were told by someone that we had to sacrifice someone or else everyone else would die,
Yeah, of course we would do
modern people would do that.
Mind
regardless.
you wouldn't. No one's selfless enough to volunteer to do it
Yeah,
themselves.
no one. Yeah,
Unless
no one
you're
would
mine.
want.
The mines are an exception to that.
Yeah, no one would want to get the blood on their hands. That's the thing.
Yeah, see that, and that's
If
the
you were-
interesting
if
thing.
you,
Or
it's
no one
either
would want
you or
to be
somebody
murdered
else.
themselves.
I'm gonna put it up with like a situation here. There's you have until. Okay, what time is it now?
It's that property.
Okay,
4:52.
you have until 5 o'clock. There's a pistol on the table.
Mhm.
Two people are sitting side by side.
Okay, I'm probably gonna kill you.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put you two here. Basically, there's a gun on the table, loaded, and he said you have 5 minutes to kill somebody else, to kill to kill the other person, or you both die. So nobody wants to walk away. Nobody wants to be
No one would
selfish
shoot-
enough to shoot the other person, but no one wants to die at the same time.
And
They're at that big impasse.
The thing there is, the thing is, me and Liam are friends. We wouldn't, like, Liam
That's
would
the
probably
thi-
be like, no, I can't shoot you, and I'd be like, I can't shoot you either.
Okay,
And then we'd attempt a daring escape by like shooting the guard and then trying to run, but then
Yeah.
they'd surround the building and just gun us down. But it'd
okay,
be cool.
or there's, I mean,
And
That way we both die clean. So you know.
even if one of us were selfless enough to volunteer to be killed, the other still wouldn't kill.
yeah, the other one would still not do it. Like you see that a lot. I mean, it's Hollywood, like Hollywood
It's-
stuff.
yeah, it's
Hollywood stuff, you get.
most certainly, yeah.
You see that they won't do it and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's in a real life situation. You don't know how most people would act. Some people are psycho enough, and selfish enough to do it. But when it comes down to the point, they might not.
The fun thing is,
I guess this goes back to Freud's theory of the mind. Are we born good or are we born evil?
But then, like, then that's like we get to, uh, what would be, what's a good example? Anyways, some French dude. I'm trying to think. Yeah, but
Red short British.
like most of the time, it's a French dude who's telling us like a Jean-Jacques Rousseau or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I think that was it. Anyways, yeah, this kind of gets into philosophy where you want to live long enough in life for you to have accomplished a good deed. But if you're in a situation where you have to kill one of your friends to keep on living, you
wouldn't want to live after.
yeah, you wouldn't want to live after that. And it's a question of, are you going to tarnish yourself as a human being? Because our whole point is to be the highest a human being we can be. But in a situation where that would tarnish your soul, basically, are you going to throw that aside and you're going to die, but knowing that you died as a upright, like a moral human being?
We could kind of
live
tie this
long
back
enough.
to
No. You either die the good guy or you see yourself. You live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
we
Die
could most
young.
certainly tie this back to World War II, actually, where the soldiers, not all of them actually were fighting for what Hitler believed in. They were just there because they had to be there.
Because they had to be.
And so, like, even at Christmas time, there was this one soldier recorded in his journal that, that at Christmas time, they all looked like they didn't want to be doing this anymore. They didn't want to do this.
World War I, one of the famous notes, they say, basically, Christmas time came around, they were all buddy-buddy, next day, guns started going again.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to do it. They were just being forced into it by someone up above.
Yeah.
The thing was that it's morally great. You could desert, but that's not good. That's going to get you killed. But there's only one option, that's fighting. If you don't fight these people, they're going to kill a whole lot of people.
They're going to kill you, too. I mean,
they're going to kill you, too.
It's either that's the thing. It's either kill or be killed.
Yeah, and then it's like with the, it's like, or you could surrender. But the thing is, the German propaganda machine was really...
Still basically get killed.
Really good.
It was a really good propaganda machine. So a lot of the German people, though they probably didn't agree with what the government was doing to an extent, they did probably legitimately believe that their enemy was horrible people.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when you're going out, because that's all they were being told, just like how all we were being told is how the Nazis were terrible. The difference is ours was the truth and theirs was fiction, but...
Not always.
Not always. Of course we did shit.
There was a lot of times
Of course
we
bombed Dresden, but, you know...
Not even that. There was something about, like, the Allies had some propaganda saying that the Nazis would pitchfork babies. And...
Oh, that was World War I. That was before there were Nazis.
They always made them. They always made them out to be the bad guy.
World War I was a war for territory. It doesn't even count on the good and evil scale.
But
both sides thought that they were good, and both sides were actually pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. But when you got down to it, you killed another human being. You didn't kill this monster. You killed another human being, and you basically like. That's why a lot of people like as another topic.
They come back with PTSD.
Exactly, because you just killed another human being. You just took a life.
Yeah. But I was thinking about World War II. The German propaganda machine was good, so people thought that they were fighting, like, this horrible force. But there's only so long you can fight an enemy before you realize that he is human. And I think that was the thing. The Germans, though maybe they did legitimately think the British government and, like, the French government and all that, that they were evil, the Germans, and, like, even the Brits looking at the Germans, eventually, the Brits and the rest of us, but there's so many that we can barely name it. The Brits, the Americans, all that. Okay, so let's use Allies and Axis. Okay.
And the Canadians.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so when like the Axis soldiers and the Allied soldiers looked at each other, basically, they were seeing another human being. So they were on both sides. They were probably thinking, those poor men, they're being forced by this evil government to do their bidding. And I think both sides were thinking that when they were fighting the war. They were, like, pitying the other side because the other side had to fight for an evil force, and they're wondering, why doesn't that person just surrender? And, of course, they're not surrendering because they're fighting against evil.
And because if you surrendered, you'd be killed, too. There was no option.
Yeah, have you noticed, though? World War I, Punishment 1, I think it was. If you never went over the top, you were tied to a post in front of the enemies. They never killed you. Because, you were defenseless. You weren't doing any harm to them. They just wanted to scare you. But, I mean, they wouldn't... I mean, if they were truly evil, like, I mean, World War I...
They would have shot you.
Yeah, I mean, you said it wasn't good and evil back then, but, I mean, if they were truly bad, they would have killed you on sight.
Mm-hmm.
They would have tied you, up to the post to be like, oh, free kill. They would just they would just shoot you. Like there'd be no second guessing if they're morally wrong.
The interesting thing is just like how much courage it takes as a soldier to just get over the top, especially in that kind of war.
That was a horrible war.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Do you know, the sniper mentality is interesting. I can't remember what war it was, but these, not like the American sniper, that guy was actually, that was legit. They believed that it was better, like, there were snipers who believed it was better to only, like, put someone out of the fight than kill them. But that's objective because
you're hurting them more, that you're causing more pain than you are helping.
Well, I think what they're thinking is perhaps from an economic perspective even, you wound someone, that's going to take more money from your ally, or from your enemy rather than killing them.
It's still, you didn't kill this man. You may have left him alive. He's able to go back to his family.
Yeah, but
or even then, you might wound him, he might not get help, and he might die a more painful death.
Yeah,
it's just that's relative.
Another thing too on that, the death penalty. Like, I mean, it's an eye for an eye, but basically, like a murder, like most murders were back before they got rid of it, were being sent to death because of their killings and such. But I mean, it's eye for an eye, sure, but is it ever enough? I mean,
but Hammurabi's...
Are you? I mean,
Hammurabi's Code.
Yeah, that's what that's from, by the way. Hammurabi's Code doesn't really apply to modern society anymore. Because Hammurabi's Code was working on, you are the upper class, you should know better. Meanwhile, not all murderers, like, the higher up you were in the class, the more severe your punishment would be. So eye to the eye doesn't really apply anymore.
Well, I mean, with the death penalty on murder thing, it kind of...
Like, what's interesting is, like, should we kill these people for what they did? And I understand the death penalty. I think that I have no real issue with the death penalty because you're getting rid of well, I do have an issue with it when it's used unjustly and you kill people who you haven't properly tried, and that's the issue with death penalty. But then that same person would be getting a life sentence, but at least you can be proven innocent at a later date.
The thing is, though, on that scale too, it's like the taxpayers are paying for them to be in jail. They're not just, we're putting you in jail and they're not putting any money towards it. It's the taxpayers. Murderers and rapists and stuff are sitting comfortably in a jail comfortably.
Well, that's why the U.S.
Utah, that's not true. They just
the U.S. has for-profit prisons now. Interestingly enough,
really?
they have privatized prisons. Oh yeah, and you're talking about like Scandinavia where they have awesome prisons, but like
no, not even Scandinavia. It doesn't have them. Norway it is.
Yeah, Norway.
Norway is
awesome
beautiful place.
Then why do you go?
Prisons.
Like they make them comfortable in prison.
Because it's rehabilitation.
Yes,
it's
that's
not like
proper rehabilitation.
in my opinion, if someone commits a crime of passion, that's a life like they murder someone, that's life imprisonment. If someone
depends on what the murder is.
For me, because generally speaking, I feel like that doesn't because in my opinion, the death penalty is what you use when someone is literally so dangerous that you cannot afford for them to be in prison because there is a chance they could kill again in prison. Basically, if someone kills out of like crime passion and there's not a chance of them killing again for no really big reason, then that seems like a more life in prison thing. But if someone is literally so dangerous you cannot have them in prison, like they're a serial killer or something, then the death sentence is certainly viable. Because one, if they're a serial killer, you fucking know they're a serial killer. Serial killers have a way of acting that no other criminal acts like.
Can I just use a Batman analogy here? Batman doesn't kill people because he doesn't want to be like them.
I already used the quote from it, so who cares?
You already took the Batman analogy.
I thought that was Harvey Dent. How did you not pick up on that?
No, I didn't. I wasn't paying attention to what you say.
You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that...
I used a Batman quote.
No, I'm going to use another Batman quote.
Well,
Batman's ideology is that, yes, his parents were killed. He thinks that he's not going to kill, though, because he doesn't want to be as bad as them. So, honestly, if we're killing the criminals... He doesn't want to be like them, that's the thing. If we're killing the criminals, does that make us any better?
That's what I was trying to go for. That's what I was trying to go on. Like, does it really make you any better if it happens, right?
Yeah, I understand when you need to destroy a dangerous threat.
Like, I know I'm probably going to get... if people watch... Like, if more people watch this...
Angry messages? Don't worry.
I'm probably going to get it. The movie theater shooting.
Yeah.
somebody I know, I'm not gonna say who, and because you guys would know. No, like it's somebody that I know. You guys would probably know if I said who it was. Basically said anybody, because all those people were just, it was just brutal. That the Batman thing, the one, the Batman, the
Aurora.
Dark Knight Rises.
You're talking about the Aurora shooting.
Yeah, the one where they thought it was part of the movie and people just went down.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one person I said that it's basically they should line all the people up that had somebody lost or injured in that thing, and basically do something to the shooter himself. But that doesn't make them any better. That when you think of it, because if you're doing something to them, you like at this point. I hate to say this, like, I hate to say it in this way.
I would rather have those people be in jail and have to live with their conscience. That's all they... I mean, I'm not going to hurt them. They'll just have to live with what they've done.
Like, the affected people were just going to go after that guy. But, I mean, I hate using this, basically saying... Because you're not better than them if you do it. You're just as bad as them. But, I mean, I hate using you're better than them.
No, you're not... I would say if you're beating the shit out of them, like, if you kill them for them killing your loved ones, you're not as bad as them, but it taints you as a person, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You would not... I think most people in the world would not.
Then again, there's people who get attacked by sharks, and they're like, no, even though a shark almost killed me, I'm not going to go out on a vengeance quest and try to kill all the sharks.
I think most
I
people
respect them.
do that,
I respect them more now that they've shown that...
Yeah. It's like that... I think a lot of people who get shark attacked, either they just stay away from the water or they, respect the sharks. But no one, I think, very few people, I think, downright hate them afterwards.
No.
No.
And that's the thing. You're like, oh.
And that's another moral relativism thing. That is man the master of animals, or is man an animal?
Oh, we should probably do you want to do you know what? We're coming to the end of this episode. I think at the 1 hour mark, we'll return with that topic in our next episode. Environmentalism, but that's probably going to keep going with this topic. And it's in the maximum sentence in Canada, 20 years, life sentence.
Yeah, but you can give it, it's like 25.
25
I think it's 25, but you can give it without chance of parole, which
bail.
Without chance of parole basically means they can hold you for life if you're a dangerous offender.
And then you can get more than one life sentence added on.
You can get, basically. You can get multiple life sentences, which I don't understand.
I like the 20. We went to.
If you say life sentence, you give them a set time with no chance of parole. I don't understand that, but
it's interesting.
If you say life sentence, you should mean for life.
Maybe they mean by then your life is ruined.
I was just about to say that. Maybe because they think your life's over after 25 years. I mean, you still.
Well, your life is over after you're convicted. No one wants to hire you out for a job, and there's no way to...
Especially if you're convicted for murder. That's been on the news. People know who you are. They'll run a background check. They'll be like, this guy's a murderer. Not hiring him.
Jinx, by the way, Liam. You owe me a tea.
Old-fashioned Jinx, eh? Old-timey 1920s Jinx.
That's why you owe me a tea.
I was gonna make tea already, but you just want to keep recording these damn things.
This is the first one we've recorded, Liam.
Oh, now you're telling people how many we're recording, are you?
Yes, because we already mentioned in the first 3 episodes that the first one hadn't even uploaded.
Okay.
Hold on, don't stop the recording. We haven't said goodbye yet.
This has gone to hell, everyone.
Hold on. You people in the comments with your doodad computer flings.
Okay, can you
subscribe? No. Subscribe, like, favorite,
do anything.
Follow me on Twitter and then comment.
Share it with your friends. See what they think about this.
Yes, growth is good.
Very important topic. Play me off, Luke.
Let me.
Okay, see ya.